Hello, I'm Sar Kareem and I'm going to represent on the topic Women Empowerment, the most challenging issue for all periods of time, which is still a question to today's modern world. A beautiful quotation on women. A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. This topic will be included with introduction, need for women empowerment, the main problem faced by women, ways to empower women, rights of women, facilitating factors for women empowerment, advantages of women empowerment, disadvantages of women empowerment, shocking facts, role of NGOs and role of environment, great work personality, and last the conclusion. Introduction. Women empowerment refers to increasing the spiritual, political, social, educational, gender or economic strength of individual and communities of women. Economic empowerment of women is like poverty eradication, microcredit, women and economy, globalization, women and agriculture, women and industry. And some social empowerment of women is like education of women, health care of women, participation of women in development of science and technology, nutrition of women, drinking water and sanitation, house shelter and environment. It is the process and the outcome of the process by which women challenge gender-based discrimination against men in all the institutions and structures of society. Women empowerment is empowering to take their own personal decision for their personal dependent. Women should be given equal right like as men to really empowering them. It is to bring equality in the society for both male and female in all areas. Needs for women empowerment. Decision making power. Explore and trust own thoughts, make decisions, set goals and work towards them. Ability to learn skills. Be active, assertive and skillful. Do not require supports from man to survive. Be self-governing and positive self-image. Freedom of movement. Being able to grow and achieve without restrictions in society, that is, freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom from fear of male violence, and freedom to express one's idea and opinion. Access to education and access to information leads knowledge. Explore to media. We have lower access to media. It is an important source of empowerment. Greater proportion of women without having access to media reflects the relatively disadvantaged position of women in relation to men with regards to empowerment. Traditional barriers break women in this society, desire self-respect and social dignity. All this we need for women empowerment. The main problem faced by women. Gender discrimination. Women are always being judged at every platform just because she belongs to female gender. Educational problem. Most of the girls are not allowed to go to school, and due to lack of education, a woman suffers her whole life for general and personal use. Society problem. The society never gives an equal opportunity to women to prove herself. Domestic violence involves an unequal power dynamic in which one partner tries to assert control over the other, including physical harm, emotional abuse, insults, and threats, where victims experience diminished self worth, anxiety, depression, and feels helplessness. Dowry death or death of women who are murdered or driven to suicide by continuous harassment and torture by husband-in-laws in an effort to extort and increase dowry. Dowry deaths are found in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Iran. And the common one is rape, molestation, and sexual harassment, acid attack, trafficking, and other is female infanticide. You may found deliberate killing of girl babies. So here are some ways to empower women. First of all, providing education is the main thing, to give them information about their awareness, what all right they have. And the other is self-employed. When they are educated, they can be self-employed. and self-help group for them for their benefit to get out of whatever problem they are having, and creating enabling environment. This is something that you is created for that should be created for a woman to get her empowered. Then strong tracking mechanism, foundation for active policies further developing a long-term impact, for example pathfinder. Then building network and consortia, spread best practices among geographies, account specific needs for the communities, develop and strengthen network with relevant partner, creating enabling environment. And then awareness, understanding, action. The best way to do so is to educate the children, orient the teachers, examine the textbook and teaching aids, and ensure that the next generation grow up with new thinking, providing education. Other than that, this society should change the mentality towards the word woman, encouraging women to develop in their field they are good and make a career. Rights of women. The rights to women as human. The rights to the same employment opportunities, including application of the same criteria for selection. The right to free choice of profession and employment. The right to promotion, job security, and all benefits and conditions of service, and right to receive vocation training and retraining. The rights to equal remuneration. The right to protection of health and safety. These are some facilitating factors for women empowerment, such as existence of women's organization, availability of support systems, availability of women specific, availability of funds, feminist leadership, networking, favorable media coverage, and favorable policy climate. Advantages of women empowerment. So here few advantages, like next generation will be employed because of her, and if women will be empowered, she will not be a burden on anyone, and financially burden of man can be shared with her support, and family can be more strong because of both working hands. They will be able to give their contribution in making not only this nation but this world a beautiful planet. So, these are some of the disadvantages of women empowerment. Like, a woman may not be able to discharge her natural responsibilities like nurturing a child, taking care of her husband, etc. The society may notice an undeclared competition between the two genders. There may be an imbalance of roles to be played by men and women according to their potential. Lack of precautionary measures may lead to cultivation of negativity like jealousy, animosity, harassment, etc. Rise in crime and sexual exploitation may also happen, and children's immoral standard and academic performance will have an effect on that. So here are some shocking facts that prove we need gender equality now. The symptom may vary depending where you live, but gender inequality is a truly global concern. In 2015, there were only 21 female heads of state in the entire world. Yes, only 21. That's one for each country. Although women makes up 49.6% of world's population, only 11 women served as head of state in 2015, while 10 served as head of government. 196 world leaders signed the global goals, but can we really create a fairer world if only a tenth of these are women? No, I think so. Over 150 countries have at least one actively sexist law. From legitimate rape in India to unfair inheritance law in the UK, the majority of the countries still harbor law that makes life more difficult or more dangerous for women and girls. Many of these laws reinforce the notion that a woman exists as the property of a man. A married woman cannot leave her house without her husband's permission, even cannot do job without permission. Each minute, 28 girls are married before they are ready. Somewhere in the world, a child marriages happen every minute, which runs up a total of 15 million early marriages every year. 1 in 3 women have experienced physical or sexual violence at some point in their lifetime. According to UN estimates, up to 35% of women alive today have experienced sexual or physical violence. The women aged 15 to 44 are more at risk from rape and domestic violence than from cancer, motor accident, war, and malaria. Most countries, women only earn between 60 and 75% of men's wages for the same work. There are approximately 781 million illiterate adults worldwide, and two-thirds of whom are women. 63 million girls still need to go to school. But if a girl completes both primary and secondary school, she will marry later, have children later, raise healthier children, and earn more an adult. So, why are so many girls denied their right to learn? All these facts boil down to a single cause: gender inequality. Last but not the least, every 90 seconds, one woman dies during pregnancy or childbirth. In Russia, there are 9 million more women than men. So, these are very shocking facts. Still, we are ignoring women as thinking them backward like what we expect. We just give importance to the men everywhere. This is a global issue, not about some countries or some place, but it's going and beyond the expectations nowadays, and we really need to think why. This is women only who needs to question and start their progress from now onwards. Roles of NGOs. So, non-government organizations are playing significant role in the empowerment of disadvantages of women. They also help women stand on their own through such programs as social economic program, vocational training, and etc. and etc. There is also a role of government. The year 2001 was declared as Women Empowerment Year to bring greater focus the programs for women. A program was supported to training cum employment for women was launched in 1987 to strengthen the women's skills. Swam Siddha launched in March 2001 and the Swashakti project launched in October 1998. So this shows there are many roles to empower women, such as NGOs, governments, and legislative acts, and many more. There are many great personalities. The history of women is full of pioneers who have broken down the gender barrier and worked hard for their rights and made progress in the field of politics, arts, science, laws, etc. As an Indian, I have some of the Indian names, but there are many and many, like Priya Jinha, the first lady cadet to join the Indian Army in 1993. Harita Kaur Deol, the first woman pilot to fly solo in the Indian Air Force in 1994. Durga Banerjee, first Indian female pilot and captain of Indian Airlines in the year 1966. She was also the first woman ever to fly the Tornado A 2001 aircraft. Bachendri Pal, first Indian woman to reach the summit of Mount Everest in 1984. Mary Kom, only woman boxer who has won a medal in each of the 6 World Championships. Sania Nehwal, first Indian woman to win a medal in badminton at 2012 Olympic Games. Later in 2015, she became the first Indian woman to secure number 1 position in the world ranking. Conclusion. Women represent half of the world's population, and gender inequality exists in every nation of the planet. Empowering women, escalating women, and enriching the world. The greatest need of the hour is to change the social attitudes toward women. I wish more women realize that helping another woman win, cheering her on, praying for her, or sharing a resource with her does not take away from the blessings coming to them. In fact, the more you give, the more you receive. Empowering women doesn't come from selfishness but rather from selflessness. A quotation by Salana Kinder. I liked it, so I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you like it. Thank you for giving your precious time to my presentation. Give me the feedback if you like it.